Hey there. Tonight we're gonna brew a extract partial mash gluten-free lager. I got some sorghum extract. I got some candied sugar. I got some flaked corn to mash in with, and then I have some amylase enzyme to help convert that corn, iodine to check for the conversion, yeast nutrient to get my fermentation off to a proper start, a whisk to whisk in my extract, a spoon to mix as I go, and my little grain sack for the corn when I mash with the enzymes. Alright, I have my strike water heating up to 155-ish to mash in my flaked corn. I'm rolling with just one kettle. It's an extract batch, I don't need anything more than that. I got my temperature controller helping me out. I'm doing an extract batch electric this time instead of on the propane burner. This is a lager, so I really want things to be kind of accurate so that you don't taste any flaws later. So we're just heating up to the temperature of about 155 so that I can mash in. I'm about 5 degrees away from my target strike mashing doughing in temperature. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this alpha amylase, and that's going to put enzymes into the wort, into the mash that I can't get from grains. Flaked corn doesn't have any diastatic power, and I can't throw in any Turo or Vienna or Munich or anything like that because that's not gluten-free. I'm making 100% gluten-free beer. So we're just going to add, got this cute little baby spoon. Pleasures of having a kid. Just gonna add maybe half, just a little bit. It says half a teaspoon per 5 gallons. I'm only mashing 3 gallons and it's only 3 pounds of flaked corn. So I don't really want to go too crazy because I think this will carry over into the fermentation. It'll probably dry out my lager a little bit. So I just have a little bit there. All right. We hit our temperatures. I'm going to throw my flaked corn into here. By the way, I am in no sense an expert at this. This is my first time doing this, so we're learning together. I have my element off, everything's off. I actually unplugged it, I did everything. I don't want to scorch this or burn anything. Tie a little knot, and away we go. I'm actually going to tie it looser because when it gets wet it'll probably expand. "30 minutes has passed. I'm just going to take a little bit of the wort sample, I guess you could call it wort, I don't know, just into my spoon, and I'm going to drop a little droplet of iodine in it, see if there's a starch conversion. Reddish color is okay, black is bad. That is black as black can be. So let's keep mashing. Maybe we'll add some more enzyme. Alright, here we go. After an hour, I'm just gonna say that if this turns black, we're just gonna proceed. You can see all the little corn particles in there. That might actually be my problem, is if there's any grain husks or I think any chunks of the actual stuff that I'm trying to convert in there, it's going to turn black no matter what. Super black. But like I said, it's so chunky in there, not really going to worry about it. Maybe it'll just add some flavor. We're going to proceed on. So at this point of the game, I'm just going to add 1 can of LME. I'm going to save the other one and the candy sugar till later. This will help with my SRM, and this will also help with hop utilization. At this point, I'm going to steal about 4 ounces of wort to add my yeast nutrient to, which I will add at 10 minutes left in the boil. Meanwhile, my house starts leaking about 10 minutes into the boil. So you're going to see a little wardrobe change here. That's because I had to run outside in the pouring rain. I got drenched, which was a lot of fun. I'm going to add 1 ounce of Apollo hops for my bittering hops. Set a timer for 60 minutes.
Okay, I set it.
There's 10 minutes left in the boil. I stopped the timer. Got a lot of stuff to add here. 1 ounce of agave nectar. Amber candied sugar. Yeast nutrient. Another ounce of Apollo hops. Let's do a whirl flock tablet. And then of course my other can of LME. We're gonna mix that all really super good. We don't want any scorching on our element. Let's bring it back up to a boil. 60 minutes has passed, our boil is done. Let's kill the heat. And then I'm going to put some cold water into my fermenter. Added maybe like a gallon of water. I'm just going to grab my kettle, dump the wort into there, and then I'll fill the rest up with water and actually ice, and until I reach about 6 gallons of volume. My temperature is at an acceptable level for me to pitch my yeast, so I'm going to dump that in there. This is some lager yeast that I harvested a while back. It's been sitting in my fridge. I'm just going to go and swirl it up and pitch that directly into there. No starter, no nothing. Should be totally adequate amount of yeast to eat all that sugar. Here we are in the garage. I'm going to give this gluten-free lager a little taste. Let you guys know what I think. There it is. Decent little color to it. Must be the amber candy syrup that I added. Smells a little bit floral, a little bit fruity. A little bit of lime, which I added 7 grams of lime zest to the fermenter. Smells delicious. First taste, like I said, I have had this a couple times. I actually changed it to a gluten-free IPL. There's a lingering bitter at the end when you drink it. It's really smooth. There's not a whole lot of body to it. I used Apollo hops on it. Lime is also a characteristic of that one too. So I do get a little bit of lime. Now this was supposed to be a gluten-free version of Flying Dog's Numero Uno, which I brewed twice before, and I would say that this is actually nothing like what I've brewed previously. This is the gluten-free version. I guess I was hoping that it would taste exactly how I brewed it previously with all grain, but it did not turn out that way. And I think that there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, first thing I gotta say is that the body just really isn't there. And I think that that's why a lot more of the hops are coming through. I really didn't add that many hops. There's an ounce of Apollo in at 60, and there was an ounce at Flame Out. I think next time what I forgot to do, or I just didn't really put into the recipe, was previously on 2 different batches that I did that were gluten-free, that were pale ale, like a zombie dust clone. I used maltodextrin, and that's like unfermentable sugar, so that'd be like adding carapils or something to a normal grain bill. So I think that that would help round out the body, add a little bit of sweetness, take away some of that hop bite. It's not a bad beer. It's not my favorite beer in the world, I'll say that. It as far as lagers go, I'd say it definitely tastes like a lager. It's very clean. There's absolutely no esters. I used the Y East, I think it was Y East, Mexican Cerveza Lager strain, which is pretty much known for being clean as clean can be. And I would say that this is that. Yeah, there's just a little bit of a hop bite at the end. When you're drinking it, you kind of get like the lime and the fruit and the floral mostly in the nose. I was also kind of thinking about it a little bit today, and I was wondering if maybe the hops just really attached to that corn that I just threw in the muslin sack and mashed with a amylase enzyme. Maybe if I did it and how I used to do it, you know, for an all grain batch, the corn would have been filtered out through the grain bed of the mash. So maybe that's something to say. Maybe the hops really had like organic matter to grab onto and really stick. Because in my mind, it's more bitter than it should be. There's really no reason why it should be that bitter. Like for me to call it an India Pale Lager instead of just a cerveza, you know, it's supposed to be like a Corona with a lime, but a lot better. So I think next time if I brew this again, I would definitely add the maltodextrin. If I brewed it again, I just wouldn't do the gluten-free version. I would do the all-grain version. You know, sometimes you just got to branch out, try new things, and I haven't made that recipe before. I had good luck with other gluten-free recipes, so we just winged it and saw what we could do. But from the video, if you saw with all the starch not converting, I was a lot more scared than, but this turned out actually quite nice from where I thought it was be. I thought it was gonna end up in the drain downstairs. So, but yeah, that's it. Gluten-free brewing. Not bad. I guess everything was a success. Got a little dicey there, but yeah, it's a good beer. I'll drink it tonight. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to let me know. And see you next time.